Hi guys, it's Christina. Obviously, I don't know why I said that, but it's Sunday. It's official. All my stuff is packed up in the car. We're about to leave and go to Pennsylvania. Tomorrow I have an appointment with my vascular neurosurgeon, and that's when we're gonna make a plan of what to do next. Don't really know what to expect from this appointment and this trip. I've never even been to Pennsylvania before, so should be an interesting ride. I'm glad you guys are here to come along with me. Let's get this show on the road. I thought that I would treat myself to a new neck pillow for the occasion. And look at the color of this versus the color of this. Ugh. Like, what happened? It was well loved. Well guys, we made it to Pennsylvania. It was about a 7.5 hour drive, I think. I slept through most of it. I'm not feeling well, let's just say that. We're here, we made it, we're at the hotel. And my mom went in to get the keys, and it turns out today, of all the days, is their yearly carpet cleaning day. They've been washing and shampooing and cleaning all of the rugs in the whole hotel today. So she doesn't know exactly which products they used. So now I'm sitting in the car in front of the hotel while my mom goes in and sniffs the carpets. Oh my gosh, what is my life? If the carpets are too offensive, I guess that we're gonna have to go and search for another hotel. I really don't feel well. I just want to climb in bed. Any bed, but not a bed that smells like carpet cleaner. Okay guys, so they were able to change us to a different floor that had the carpets done much earlier in the day, and it seems to be fine. I'm up here, I don't smell anything. And honestly, this is the greatest hotel room we have ever been in. I think I'm just gonna move in. The entire place is totally wheelchair accessible, even though it's not an accessible room. The carpeting on the floor is super densely packed. And then over here by the bathroom, they have this like soft big wood as well with really just a tiny lip. So this entire room is really accessible. The night table has room to roll under, and look at my favorite feature in the whole world. Ready? Whoa. Extendo night table. You might not understand quite why this is such a big deal, but if you think about it, when they fuse your back, you lose any normal movement of your shoulders and your ribs. So for instance, I'm lying in bed and I'm reaching to my side. I can only reach to about here. So I actually wouldn't be able to grab anything off of the actual night table, but extendo night table, totally accessible. That is why in my room I have like a night table and then I have carts next to my bed, because I use the carts as makeshift nightstands. But this room already comes equipped. Mom, I hope you know that I live here now. They also have this like really big nice mirror. Hello. I feel like this mirror is almost too big. Ooh, fancy bathroom. Oh, it just now occurred to me why the entire... Now I get it. It just now occurred to me why the entire hotel has pictures of candy everywhere. Ow. It's because we're in stinking Hershey. Sometimes when you're living from hotel room to hotel room or hospital to hospital, you kind of forget where you are. We're in Hershey, candy capital of the US. Oh, I want to go on a factory tour. I really have a thing for factories. Okay, well, I'm not feeling super great, and I have to make sure that everything is all set for the video going up tomorrow. So, I will talk to you guys later. Observation, this entire hotel smells like fresh baked chocolate chip cookies, and it's amazing. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh, everything pulls out in this hotel. This is amazing. Yes, never leaving. You got it. We had unpacked like all of our stuff, and then I was like, so where's my elephant bag? And we're like, I don't know. This bag has literally everything I need. So if this bag hadn't been in the car, we may as well have just turned around and gone back home. Let's see. Saline pump. Hello you guys. Good morning. It is Monday. It is the Monday. I am off to see my vascular neurosurgeon and hopefully make a plan. I'm pretty exhausted. The drive was kind of a lot on me yesterday, and then I only got a couple hours of sleep because we're pre-medicating me with steroids in case I end up needing some kind of testing done today. So I was just like laying in bed all night like because that's how I feel on steroids. I feel like I'm just like vibrating inside and like need to run. It's definitely hard to fall asleep during that. Not feeling good. No idea what to expect from this appointment, but here we go. But also, can we take a minute to appreciate this maxi dress? This is like the most comfortable dress in the entire world. I stinking love it. That appointment pretty much went how I expected it to go. Basically said that he wanted imaging done of my stent to make sure that that was still working, and also to see if there were any other areas that needed to be stented. And he also wants to do a high volume lumbar puncture, meaning they put a needle into the spine and they remove a lot of the spinal fluid and basically see how your body reacts to that. And if you feel better afterwards, it means that your spinal fluid was too high. So the plan is now for us to go into the hospital tomorrow, pre-medicate me for contrast, and then hopefully have those tests done sometime on Wednesday. Basically what I expected. Still hard to hear. It's just like opening a can of worms that I never really wanted to open, but I've been ignoring it for too long and I don't want to be dumb and end up with anything permanent. And we also have to get this car fixed somehow. Something's funky with the battery or something, so we have to find a mechanic now. We do have some friends in town who are in the hospital, so I'm thinking maybe we're gonna head over and visit them now. I just know that the second we go back to the hotel and I sit in bed, I'm just gonna fall asleep. So I'd like to do something while we're out, and I don't particularly feel up to going on any tours or anything today. Yep. Pretty much what I expected Pennsylvania to look like. The fact that our room number just happens to be the same number as Sherlock Holmes. Coincidence? I think not.
Is this 221 Baker Street?
Wait a second. Where's the murder?
Is Sherlock Holmes here? What about Dr. Watson?
Come on in.
Okay.
Major downside to using a wheelchair: wheel marks on everything. Upside, you get to wear whatever shoes you want and never get blisters. Oh, and P.S. I discovered that this dress actually has pockets. So, 10 out of 10 would recommend this dress. We'll link it in the description. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go visit our friends because the car took precedent. I guess while she was driving yesterday, she started to have an issue with it, and she didn't even tell me because she knew I'd probably freak out. I probably would have freaked out. So she called her mechanic at home and he said to get it into a repair ASAP. And with us having to go into the hospital tomorrow, that means that we have to check out of here with all of our stuff by 11 and drive to the hospital. And it's not like there's really anywhere in the hospital to keep all of our things, and we don't have like the kind of money lying around just to keep a room for our stuff. So it's it's really important that we have a car. So she just dropped me off at the room and she's gonna go and hope that they can fix it today. And I guess wait there until they do. She also just realized that she forgot to pack one of my very important medications, which is, of course, the one that's almost impossible to get at most pharmacies. So we gotta figure that out. She's gonna go by CVS and see if they have any, if they can lend us them. If not, we're gonna have my dad overnight it. It would get pretty expensive. It's like all these little ampules for my mast cell. So, oops. I don't know what I'm gonna do alone in this hotel room for the next few hours. I'm probably gonna end up taking a nap because that's just what I do now. I can progressively feel my mind just slowing down, and that is why I am standing. The second I sit down, I'm useless. I do still have to get all my infusion stuff set up, so I guess I'll start with that. I left most of my craft projects at home because I wanted to just focus on my health. I'm kind of second guessing that. I do have a sketchbook, so I won't go completely mad. I may or may not also have borrowed / stolen some little rocks from the front of the hotel, depending on whether or not that is legal, that I could draw some little words on there. Hey, I don't eat their complimentary breakfast, so they can just take it out of my bill. All right, guys, it is Tuesday. That means it is hospital day. I figured I would show you what I am wearing because you guys sometimes ask what to wear if you're going into hospital. So basically, don't wear any metal. That is my biggest thing. Don't wear snaps, don't wear buttons, don't wear zippers. Take off all of your jewelry. Bras should have no underwire and no clasps. Bring your most basic underwear. This is not the time to impress anybody. And dress in layers. I always bring like a tank top and a sweater. I've got some really soft, comfy leggings. Again, you're not there to impress anybody. You just want to be comfortable. This time I'm just gonna bring some sandals. Usually they make you change into their socks anyway, but yeah, this is my very typical hospital outfit. No metal, because if you're not wearing any metal, you have a much higher chance of being able to talk your way out of having to wear a Johnny. All right, guys, I have donned my hospital-friendly attire. I'm feeling so naked without my jewelry, like no earrings, no necklaces, even my bracelets are gone. I just have my one medical alert bracelet on, which obviously I don't really think I need in the hospital since they have all of my information in their computer. But I do like to wear it because I like for people to see it and remember that not every medical alert bracelet looks the same. Sometimes my biggest worry is that they're going to overlook my medical alert bracelet because it just blends in with the rest of my style. But I want like the doctors and nurses to get used to seeing more fashionable medical jewelry, just to ingrain it in their heads to look out for that. I just have some nebulizers to do before we check out of the hotel and head over. Actually, first we have to drop off our car, pick up a loaner car, and then drive that to the hospital. They couldn't fix whatever was going on with it yesterday, so that's kind of a bummer. We have to either transfer all of our stuff into this new little car, or we're gonna have to leave some stuff behind. I don't know. I just want to make sure that like we don't accidentally leave anything in the car that we really need. But I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do my nebulizers, and I will see you guys on the other end. Goodbye, hotel room. I loved you very, very much. I was hoping we would have more time together, but it looks like I'm upgrading to a hospital room. I'm just sitting here waiting at the car repair place. We had to drive quite a while from where we were staying to get here, but they were so nice on the phone and they seem to know what's going on, so, you know, you gotta go where you need to go. We wanna make sure this car is safe. But I'm already exhausted just from sitting here. Then we gotta go and sit and wait in the ER. The hospital's full, unfortunately, so he can't just direct admit me. The only way around that, he said, is to go through the ER and wait until the bed opens up. Say goodbye to our old car. Look at this. My ears are crooked. I don't know if anybody else has this problem. One of my ears is significantly higher than the other one, and I have to keep bending my glasses to fit. And then people will take my glasses and they're like, oh, what's so wonky about your glasses? And I'm like, no, it's my head that's wonky. Like this ear sits up here, and this ear is like a ½ inch lower. What the heck? Anyway, The previous owner of this car really liked air freshener. So, this should be fun. We made it to the emergency room. I'm in a bed in record time, and my nurse has EDS. It's a small world. Hello you guys, I know it's been a little while since I checked in. I am now in a room. I have been admitted to the hospital, and hopefully tomorrow we are going to start the testing process. It has been a long day. We were in the ER for a while, but I mostly slept through, and then we came up here. The room was pretty nice. I got a little armoire thing over here, cute little sink. This is where my mom is going to be sleeping. Over there we have actually a nice little view of some hills and trees. Pretty nice room. But if you guys are familiar with hospitals, you know that the admission process can often take quite a while. So I haven't received any of the medications that I normally take all day. We're still working on getting them in the system and getting them through pharmacy. My mom actually had to run out to a pharmacy to pick up one of my medications that they don't have here, and it's definitely taking a toll on my body. I'm at least 3 hours overdue for most of my medications at this point. It's just frustrating when it keeps getting pushed back, and then we kind of have to reevaluate things when it comes to my night meds because I don't want to take things too close. But then I'm going to be NPO after midnight, which means that I really can't take anything in after midnight because I will be having procedures tomorrow. So that's what's going on now. I'm just kind of in and out of sleep. I've been listening to an audiobook, but I keep falling asleep. I have to keep going back and finding where I was, and it's really annoying. So, update. It's about 10:15, and I just got like 2 out of 5 of my 6 o'clock meds. I did manage to get hooked up to an IV finally, so progress. Plus I got some fancy new leg accessories. These things just kind of massage your legs to keep you from getting blood clots. I think that they assume that I must be active when I'm not here because they always make such a big deal about being inactive while you're in a hospital. But I am kind of here with like neurological issues, so I get it. Also, don't judge socks with sandals until you've experienced socks with sandals. Alright guys, good morning. It was a hospital night, so that means that they found a creative way to wake me up every half hour. Then we couldn't get blood this morning from my port, so that was interesting. Anyway, I'm kind of on a time crunch here. They just pre-medicated me. I just found out I'm going down for my cerebral angiogram. Super psyched about it, really excited. But gotta go, so I will check in with you guys after. Hi guys, so I'm just returning from the angiogram. Everything went pretty well. The only problem we ran into was the medications, the steroids that we used to stress dose me for both my adrenal function and for my mast cell activation syndrome actually caused a pretty severe spike in my blood pressure, which is actually quite interesting for me to experience considering I've never had a high blood pressure. I've barely ever had a normal blood pressure. It's usually low, but that actually brought on the worst headache I've ever had in my life, to the point where I had to be restrained a bit because I was just clawing at my head to try to release some of the pressure. Tomorrow it looks like we're planning for the lumbar puncture. I guess that kind of depends on what they discovered today, but I'm in good spirits. I'm glad to have this behind me. I'm in pain, but I'm comfortable. And I will check in with you guys when I'm a bit more capable. Thank you guys for all of the sweet messages and prayers. It really means a lot to me. Hello, you guys. Well, I've done a lot of recovering since I last spoke to you. My head is definitely still pounding, but not how it was. My blood pressure has finally come back down to its normal. When they laid me flat down on the procedure table, it was like the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. I felt like my head was actually going to explode. And so they took my blood pressure and it was like 180s over 100 something. And so that sent them scrambling. I was in too much pain to even talk or scream or cry. And I was already restrained. I've never experienced anything like that. They had to do infusions of a couple different medications to get it down, and even that was difficult. So that wasn't a great way to start out the procedure, but after that it went pretty well. And I think overall it went a lot better than the last time I had it. The interesting news is that it actually came back looking pretty normal, or pretty much the same as last time. So that's great, kind of. I honestly was hoping that we would find the issue in this test, because with the options that I have, this would have been an easier fix. I already do have one stent because of collapsing, and I was very ready to go for a second stent after my success with the last one. So it was almost a disappointment to hear that this was not the cause of my issues, even though that is something that I suspected all along. And so did my doctor. I think it was just, I was holding out hope. So the plan is tomorrow I will be having a high volume lumbar puncture. They will be removing significant amounts of spinal fluid to see how that affects my symptoms over the next few days. And then we will be making a plan as to how to go about the next steps, which it looks like will be a shunt. Something that I don't want to get into, but it's something that I feel like I have no choice at this point. It's only getting worse. It's something that I've put off for a long time, and it's time. I'm hoping to get a little bit of sleep tonight so that I can be in good shape for tomorrow. The weather's not really helping. It looks like we have some kind of storm building up. There's quite a lot of lightning going on out there, so we'll just have to see. We're playing it 1 second at a time, really, but I'm definitely feeling better than I was earlier, and I'm very thankful for that.
Hello. Oh, do you have your new Johnny?
I could have been naked. You can't just like surprise someone.
I figure you could just cut it if it was a little candid is good.
I've pretty much been.
Hang on, let me get the whole beautiful new Johnny.
This is my
That's adorable
hospital gown from Gift Gowns with my little pockets. It's actually really, really great because first of all, I've been freezing in mine, and every single time I move, I'm just naked in some way. Like it's just, it's not a clothing item. It's more like a snuggie.
More like a sheet.
This is much more modest.
And we all know that modest is hottest.
Just to wash my hands now.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday?
Yeah.
Hospital day 3. And I am just waiting to be taken down for my high volume lumbar puncture. I gotta say I'm a little bit nervous. I have been avoiding lumbar punctures like the plague my entire life. I'm afraid that I will end up with a spinal leak or an infection or something. I am afraid they won't be able to get the needle in past all of my hardware, but I'm putting all of that aside and I am doing it anyway because I don't have a choice. And I want to know what's going on so that we can move forward. I don't really know what else to say. It'll just be one more hurdle that I would have jumped, I guess. I guess I gotta face my fears, and hopefully this will help me to know what decisions to make when it comes down to having to make decisions. Well, that was a bust. I got down there, we got prepped, I got on the table, and he took one look at my spine and was like, nope, there is absolutely no way that I am even going to attempt to do a lumbar puncture on you, because you have so much hardware, and not only that, but in between all your hardware you have bone grafts, and I cannot see that on my imaging. Therefore I would just be poking around forever looking for a spot. So that didn't happen. I'm very, very glad that he didn't try. I think that would have been a disaster. But I do think that they maybe should have known that before I got down there. Like, maybe somebody could have just read my chart. It is what it is. I am apparently rescheduled to do it with the CT at 2:30. So that's in like 3 hours. It kind of stinks. I am still NPO for this procedure, which means that I'm not allowed to have any food or drink, meaning I haven't been able to run any feeds or drink any water. And I was also NPO yesterday because of that procedure, so I'm feeling really, really weak and pretty sick. My head's killing me. We still can't get some of my medications because of pharmacy protocols. It's a bit of a letdown making peace finally with having the lumbar puncture and then them saying, never mind, I gotta go. Is it going?
Yep.
Okay, I survived my lumbar puncture experience. It was an interesting experience because I have so much bone and hardware inside of my spine that they had to do it with a CT scan. I believe they call it a CT myelogram. And basically they numbed me up a little bit, and then he spent about 15 minutes trying to wiggle this big long nice needle up into my spine. We finally got it in there and probably spent maybe 15-20 minutes to a half hour draining spinal fluid out, which was an interesting feeling. Part of my head was sticking out a little bit, and there was a machine in front of me, and I could see the serial number on the back of the machine. And I was just like desperately trying to focus on something, so I was focusing on that. And I just noticed, like, the more that we were draining, the clearer I could see the serial number, until at the end, when he pulled out the needle, I could read it. And that was like so incredible. And I was noticing, like, my head doesn't hurt anymore and my ears aren't ringing. Like, what's this weird quiet? He said afterwards that my opening pressure was within normal ranges. So that left me very confused, as I was just laying there thinking, wow, I feel so much better, but I guess I shouldn't because I'm normal. My surgeon did come in and I spoke to him, and he said that within the EDS population, the numbers really don't mean much. It's really more symptoms and what your body prefers. And he said that most of his EDS patients do much better at a lower pressure, and that his recommendation would be to do a shunt. And so that's the plan that we're going with. We're hoping that we can do it Monday evening. We don't know. His schedule is very busy, but that would be ideal. And there's still a lot of kinks to iron out. We have to decide which kind of shunt and all of that, but I think that we're on the right track. I was very, very scared about the lumbar puncture and then about the idea of the shunt. But after the relief that I felt, I will do pretty much anything to have a chance to live my life like that. The worst part by far, so far, has been that you have to stay totally flat after to avoid a spinal fluid leak. And I have discovered that my back does not sit fully flat because of the fusion. It's kind of been agony for the last few hours of just muscle spasms of my back trying to fight against it, and just my ribs aren't able to expand normally. So every breath I take is very painful and very restricted. So I had another hour on my back, and then I can get up a little bit, use the bathroom, thank God. And I'm just gonna take it 1 second at a time from there. So I'm gonna bid you guys farewell for now, because it's very hard to talk. Hey guys, what is up? I think that today is Friday. It is day 2 of me lying completely flat. I was really struggling with that yesterday, but now I'm able to kind of go on my side a little bit, and they're propping pillows behind my back, and that's helping so much. I was just miserable on my back. It doesn't do the thing. It doesn't sink down. It just like stays straight, and the spasms. But things are improving. Unfortunately, my symptoms are coming back, which is normal. Usually the relief from the lumbar puncture only lasts for the first day. So the headache's really kicking in, and it doesn't help that I was taking in almost no calories for the last 2 days. And I'm still not getting my normal rate of calories because I am flat, and you're technically not even supposed to run feeds when you're flat because there's the risk of it going into your lungs. But I did get permission from my doctor. We just decided that the risk of a spinal fluid leak is higher than my risk of aspiration at this point. But yeah, I'm starving. People ask me if I get hungry, and yes, I do. I get very, very hungry. And it's actually quite painful when I get hungry. I'm not sure if this is something that everyone with the feeding tube experiences, but for me, when my stomach gets empty and I get really hungry, my stomach pulls on the tube, which in turn pulls all of the muscles across my chest, and I end up with rib issues. So yeah, we always try to stay on top of it and not let my stomach go empty. But obviously, we didn't have a choice this time. There's something that I just wanted to touch on, and I wanted to vlog on it yesterday, but I just wasn't in shape to do so. I know that in my videos and on my social media, I talk a lot about positivity, and I get a lot of comments both online and in real life saying, you know, wow, you're always smiling and you're always so positive, and like, oh, I could never go through what you're going through. And yeah, I do. I try to be as positive as possible. I try to smile whenever I can. We try to make the best out of this craziness that is my life. But there are times when I'm not smiling and when I'm not feeling particularly positive. And I think that's really important to remember and to address, because when you're going through a difficult situation, feelings like anxiety and sadness and fear are totally normal and valid emotions. And I don't think that we should have to try to pretend like we're not feeling those emotions. I don't even feel like those negative emotions are even contradictory to a positive outlook. Emotions are just part of the process. Luckily, I'm not an extremely emotional person, but yesterday was a hard day for me. Yesterday was an emotional day. Lumbar punctures are something that I have avoided my entire life because I was afraid of them. And yesterday I had to have a lumbar puncture. And it was difficult for me because we had that false start in the morning where I got all ready and prepped, and we got down, and you know, I had made peace with it, and we made our final prayers. They brought me in and prepped me on the table, and then the doctor looked at my spine and was like, nope, 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 no. And I was ready to just get it over with, and then I was being told I was gonna have to wait another 4 hours. So 4 hours later, we went down and we redid the whole thing, and I had just had it by then, and I just started to get upset. And I want to be real about that. I just remember lying there and thinking, I can't do this. Like, I physically cannot, I cannot do this. Luckily, no one could see me because I just had tears streaming down my face, and I realized that I had to do it, and I actually didn't have that choice. I didn't get to say, I can't do this. It was happening, and that was just reality. And I guess that's the reality of life, is no matter how in control we think we are, you realize you weren't even given that option. It's kind of like what Mary Fry is always saying, do what you think you can't do. Because honestly, I think you guys might be surprised to see just how much you really can do when you need to. Yeah, life isn't easy, and it's not all smiles, but that doesn't mean that you can't find joy and happiness and contentment in those situations. It just makes it a little bit harder sometimes. Hello guys, it is Saturday and it is day 3 of me being completely anal and lying totally flat because I am terrified of getting a spinal fluid leak. Normally after a lumbar puncture, I think they say like a couple hours is enough for your spine to heal and to avoid a leak, but all my doctors and all my friends have been like incessantly texting me telling me to just stay flat as long as possible because I have such poor healing. So I'm probably being totally overkill about it, but I'd rather be overkill than end up with a leak. And I think by now you guys know like my control freak tendencies, and this is one of those situations where really I have very little control and there's not a whole lot that I can do to help myself feel better. So I'm doing the one thing I can do. It's actually proven to be a little bit more difficult than expected, especially now as I am trying to edit this week's vlog, and it's a little bit of a strange angle, but it's not altogether impossible. This week has definitely been like a crazy whirlwind of a week. We've accomplished a lot, but we've also had a lot of downtime. I think if you're familiar with being in a hospital setting, you know it's a whole lot of hurry up and then wait, because my condition is serious enough to have landed me here, but it's not serious enough to be an actual emergency. So, you know, between procedures, it's just been a lot of nothing and a lot of sleeping and recovering. And seriously, all I can say is thank God for audiobooks, because that's basically all I've been able to do since I got here. I asked you guys on Instagram last week if you had any recommendations, and I've been slowly making my way through that list. My one problem is that I keep falling asleep during my audiobook, and then it keeps running, and I have to keep going back and finding out where I was. I literally had to do that like at least 10 times this last book I read. I still wonder if I kind of got the whole story or not, but I did end up with some pretty interesting dreams. Well, anyway, I'm gonna end this video here so that I can finish editing. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take to upload this on the hospital Wi-Fi. Hospital Wi-Fi is not that great, so I'm gonna try to get it done tonight, Saturday night, so that I can have all of Sunday to try to get it uploaded. And hopefully you'll be seeing this on Monday. Whew, that's crazy. Monday, I'm probably having surgery. And like I said in my last vlog, these videos obviously come out a week later than when they're happening. So if you really want to keep up on the more moment to moment updates, the best place to follow along moment by moment is usually my Instagram story and my Instagram feed, as well as Facebook. I have a personal Facebook, but I also have a medical Facebook where we post any updates as soon as there are updates, like when I'm going into surgery and when I get out and stuff like that. So those are always linked below these videos if you want to be more in the know. By the time you're watching this video, I might actually already be in surgery. But if you do enjoy watching these videos, it'd be awesome if you would show me with a thumbs up. And if you want to see next week's video and be notified, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell. And whew, I guess I'll see you guys on the other side. Goodbye.